Hi, this is Rich Wagner again from Prevedere, the intelligent forecasting solution provider. Welcome to the third episode of my new series, Solving for Tomorrow, in which I address new topics each week around structuring data, creating intelligent forecasts, and conducting business planning for large and mid-sized companies. In each episode, I'll cover a topic that has been top of mind for our clients, our peers, and our colleagues over the last few weeks. This week, we're going to discuss how we can integrate intelligent forecasting software into business practices while working alongside the existing FP&A and S&OP software that companies already have. In my last episode, I touched on some of the common misconceptions that clients often have when beginning their own intelligent forecasting journey. One of the most troubling preconceived notions that I see is skepticism of what we call that we have to rip and replace our current forecasting process. Well, that's not the case. Actually, intelligent forecasting is an additive, not a replacement for the things that you know and do today. Many companies think putting the focus on intelligent forecast will disrupt their existing process or structure. Most notably, it'll disrupt their operational software, which that isn't actually the case. Their fear is that intelligent forecasting comes in, replaces all of the existing procedures that they've developed in forecasting their business, and many of them which they think are working pretty well. In reality, intelligent forecasting platforms can be easily integrated into most technology stacks or processes, even the manual processes which a lot of companies still forecast with, which means there's going to be very little disruption while adding significant benefits to an organization. So I have a few questions that came in. We're going to go through 5 on really operationalizing intelligent forecasting and integrating it into current processes. So the first question, what does it mean to, quote, operationalize intelligent forecasting? And this question comes up quite a bit, and even the word operationalize comes up quite a bit. But really, it's just about beginning to use this information consistently in the forecast and planning process to make better decisions. So it can be in many formats, just like our business intelligence tools that may be standalone reports that are delivered to key users. So can this external insight that intelligent forecasting and these predictive models that we create be consumed. They can be consumed as a standalone system or report that we can simply bring to the planning meeting and the planning process. To be more advanced, and some companies do this, where they'll actually integrate not only the insight that we brought, but actual external signals. So we've got signals on consumer behavior and economic conditions, maybe climate, industry-specific metrics. Well, those signals can actually be brought into current planning and forecasting systems and tools, as well as the process. And what we've seen is intelligent forecasting helps many different types of forecasting, because companies don't do just one type of forecasting. They may do strategic planning for longer periods, maybe multiple years. They do an annual plan, quarterly planning, and rolling monthly forecast updates. All of those, as well as the demand forecast, the sales and marketing activities on category and brand forecasting and CPG, for example, all of this can be improved with external insights and predictive models that intelligent forecasting brings, and simply having that during that process or during those meetings in your hands is really about operationalizing it. Well, if you do have an intelligent or technology stack that you want to integrate intelligent forecasting in, that's possible too. So today's technologies and best of breed applications like our intelligent forecasting solution all are typically very open and easily connect to the traditional planning and forecasting tools that you may already have. So with our solution, like many others, we have an open API. Means that we can share data back and forth with current systems, so you can keep all your data consistent and in the format that you typically forecast and plan in, and even inside the forecast and planning solution. If you've implemented IBP or integrated business planning, if you have SAP or Hyperion, Anaplan or Workday, any of these cloud-based tools, well, we can typically integrate within really just a day or two, getting the data back and forth. How does intelligent forecasting enhance a company's current process for forecasting and business planning is our third question. Well, simply put, intelligent forecasting is going to bring more fact-based and data-driven insights. And what happens when you do that is you start to remove some bias that may be in the planning forecast that you really didn't want to have there, but maybe it's somebody's just nature to be very optimistic or sandbag, consistently. That can happen. So what we want to do is bring some fact-based, data-driven insights and remove or at least minimize the bias and guesswork and help companies really understand what's driving their business. So the fourth question is, what is the process for integrating intelligent forecasting platforms into the finance department's current technology stack? So with finance, as well as we help other functions, but let's talk finance specifically, we can integrate very easily. We have connectors already built to things like SAP, Hyperion, Anaplan, Workday, or even Excel. So your FP&A team or analyst within Consumer Market Insights can work in whatever tool they do today. We also help companies develop dashboards in Power BI and Tableau. And we can do that very easily to make sure that when they're getting their reports, it stays in their tools of choice. So the operational activity of FP&A, for example, that may be done in Hyperion, SAP, Anaplan, or Workday, some of the more modern cloud-based FP&A tools, we can easily integrate in. Or if you still send out, like many companies do, Excel files, well, this system that we've built integrates and has an add-in for Excel that you can get all your forecast models and data when you need them to deliver out to the business users to start planning or during the planning process. All right, so how do we get started integrating these platforms? Right, we've heard intelligent forecasting. We understand it's pretty common sense that external data today is important, and our business kind of ebbs and flows with things like pandemic and recession indicators and supply and demand constraints that we're seeing out there, and we want more insights in our forecast and planning process. How do we get started integrating? Well, the first thing is really give us a call or set up a meeting on our website at www.prevedere.com, and we can build a roadmap for you. And the roadmap can be as simple as getting you some insights right away and a report or an Excel file or a PowerPoint that you need for a planning session. And then we can talk about how to get more sophisticated. How is your organization structured today? How do we want to roll out these predictive models? Also, what tools or technology do we need to integrate or develop to consistently give it to you so you have an automated, repeatable, and systematic way to leverage intelligent forecasting? Well, that's the 5 questions we had today. So that's it for this week's conversation. I hope you found some of my thoughts useful. Once again, want to thank Chrissy and the entire marketing team at Prevedere for producing and recording this for me and putting the visual elements in the video. As I mentioned, I'm looking forward to continuing this recording on a weekly basis. So if any of you have questions or topics you'd like to look into or like for us to address, please feel free to reach out to me directly or send an email to marketing@prevedere.com. Thank you for listening. We'll be recording another session next week.